Robin.
You're listening to Opie and Anthony. On the virus. Sirius XM.
Dan Akroyd.
There he is.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dan.
Dan Akroyd, take a seat, sir.
Gentlemen, really? It's just like that, is it?
Yeah,
Yes,
we're
it
right
is.
on the air.
Opie.
Hi.
Anthony. Jim Norton.
Indeed. Good.
Nice to
Odd
meet
that
you.
People call you by your first and last name, because that would be so odd if someone just went, Anthony Cumia. But it's like you feel compelled to just go, hey, Dan Akroyd.
You know, the police call me Mr. Akroyd.
Oh, they do.
My mother calls me Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
that's and then of course, you know, Chevy Chase, Murray, Martin Short, they all call me Akroyd.
Why didn't you say?
Akroyd.
Why didn't you say Marty? You should have said Marty Short.
Marty Short, yeah.
Marty Short, yeah.
Martin Short,
Don't you
yeah.
feel like you're in on some when you hear like people talking about their celebrity friends like that? Yeah, Marty Short. Me and Chuck Heston. We were out in Vegas.
I know, I don't mean to name drop, but
No, I love
but
a good
I could
name
drop
drop.
a few.
Yeah, I think you
probably
could.
could.
I actually met and interviewed Jimmy Hoffa once.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah, I was on.
Recently?
We put them back together for that one. No, that was up in, it was a show called Everything Goes, and it was a 90-minute variety show, just like Saturday Night Live, kind of. But two of them we did back to back, and I was the young interviewer writing on the show, and Jimmy Hoffa was plugging his book. So they put me in a room with him for about 45 minutes.
So it's before someone plugged in.
It was,
Wow.
I
How
never
was
saw
he?
that coming. I couldn't warn him.
No,
he was very polite. He was funny. He's, and he did not like the Kennedys, but he made that clear.
Yeah.
So,
Wasn't Bobby Kennedy especially gunning for the Union, saying that there was mob influence and all that stuff?
yeah, and I think, history will bear out that there was some financial involvement
Perhaps.
there.
Sure.
Went to the black side, if we might say that.
A little bit.
Wow, what year did you interview him? That's fascinating.
That was, that's in the 70s, like 72, 71, 72.
Wow, man.
100 pounds ago and 100 years.
That's a good resume stuffer.
Yeah.
We got to mention that Dan's here for the vodka. But
Oh,
we certainly want to talk about a
please.
bunch of things, but we definitely want to mention you got the vodka. I heard you brought samples.
Well, I want to show you.
You know what? It's not going to be a surprise to me, sir.
What you don't have
I have this vodka prominently displayed on my bar at my house.
You don't have a guy that walks around with your vodka for you, Dan Akroyd?
I hauled
You haul it
over.
yourself,
I
huh?
hauled it over. I hope you've cracked that bottle and tried it.
Oh, hell yeah. I've been through plenty of them. People know when they come over my house, they bring Crystal Head vodka.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So you're a discriminating taster.
I love it.
Going backwards, we just won the Prodexpo in Moscow, meaning best vodka out of 400 excellent tastes. We won 2 gold medals. Now, if Russians don't know superior vodka,
No kidding. There you go.
And then we won the World Spirits Competition in 2011 in San Francisco with a 90-plus rating, and our notes are sweet, vanilla, dry, crisp, with a kick of heat off the finish.
Whoa.
Why is that?
Kick of heat off the finish.
Yeah, and no other
like
vodka
that.
can say there's a kick of heat. They're afraid of heat.
That is...
And lesser vodkas, what they do, the less expensive ones, is they mask the alcohol by putting 3 substances in it. And you're not going to want lesser vodka after you hear what they put into vodka. They put propylene glycol, which is a preservative. It's an antifreeze. It was used to cool Spitfire engines in World War II. Now, you don't want that in your vodka.
It's kind of cool in that aspect, but you don't want it in your vodka.
No, I mean, it's because it's a harsh chemical, and they do that to mask the alcohol and produce a viscosity that isn't always there. Ours is smooth naturally. And then they put limonene in. That's a bug exterminant or a caustic cleanser. Remember Billy May, that great salesman? He used to make a mustard squeezer.
Sure.
And he'd have this thick of automobile grease, and he'd just take that citrus oil and would cut right through it like the laser cutting James Bond in half in Goldfinger. Remember?
Yes.
He was going right for the and that limonene is bad. You don't like that. And then they put sugar in there. Now, you don't need sugar in C2H5O6. You don't need any more sugar. So we're H2O C2H5O6, just water and the mash. That's it. We're winning awards all over the world, and our challenge is to make people aware to crack the bottle. What they do is they take them and they bring them home as collector's items, and they don't drink it. So
they don't open it because it looks really
it looks
cool.
good, but it looks good empty.
Oh, wow.
It's beautiful.
Cool,
it looks good. It looks good filled with M&Ms or model airplane paint or colored sand. Or if you get on our website, World Wide Web, crystalhead.com, you'll see people from all over the world have sent in art projects with the empty bottles. So the bottle was designed by John Alexander. He's an American artist.
I think it was designed by the Lord at first, sir.
Yeah.
But
you're so correct.
You're so correct.
We're going to use that. Exactly right. Yes. It was.
that is cool.
Wait, can we?
Hell, man.
We all have one of them. That's what's great about it.
Mr. Akroyd, can we back up though? How did you get into the vodka business? I'm fascinated by this because you're really into vodka now.
Well, you know, what I did was I worked with Patron in Canada, Patron Spirits, you know, the wonderful Patron XO and the Dark XO and the Añejo. I brought that into Canada because I was tired of making margaritas with inferior product. So I asked the guys at Patron, can I bring it into my little government liquor store in my little village in my little rural area up there? And they said, well, you got to bring it to the whole country. So I imported it to Canada, and now Patron is the best-selling luxury brand up there. We represent a good percentage of foreign sales for Patron, and I started to look at other opportunities. My friend had the idea for the bottle, and in about 2 minutes, he had drawn it up. And I looked at it and I thought, we got to put a pure, unadulterated, non-polluted, zero additive fluid in here. The bottle's so beautiful. Why would you put anything with pollutants in it? It's based on the Mitchell Hedges skull, which was one of the 13 crystal heads. There were 13 in the world. 5 of them are missing, 8 of them in the possession of mankind. They were supposed to have had powers for the Navajo, the Aztec, the Mayan, used them as crystal balls. They're supposed to come from the Star Children in the Spielberg movie Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skulls. It's alluded that they did come from another planet. So tying that all into our sales myth, what we're selling really is enlightened drinking, and drinking that has no junk in it. John Alexander was one of my best friends. We met at Saturday Night Live. I was dating one of the writers there, a beautiful lady named Rosie, and he basically stole her away from me. That's how we met. And so there's a nice story there, but I'm not sure where she is today, but I can get him on the phone because he's my evil partner. And so we drew this bottle up and we put the fluid in it. It's made by the government's facility in Newfoundland. Now, I know governments aren't very popular these days, but governments that make vodka are very popular.
Yeah. It's amazing how smart that, like, when you look at that, like, to see that on your shelf, like, everybody would want to at least try that. Like, that's a really smart marketing thing. And the name is great. Crystal Head Vodka is a great name for a product.
It's a skull, but we don't call it a skull. We see it as a living thing, just like the Navajo, the Mayans, the Aztecs saw it as a living crystal. Of course, it's not crystal because that has lead in it. That's Bruni glass, and it has a little grin to it. Now, so that's our naked bottle right there. Now, any Stones fans around here?
I like them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Stones and their tour coming up, we went to Bravado at Universal, which is their marketing arm. We went through Canada to do this, and Mick and Keith and the boys agreed that this would be a fun thing to do, and we have devised.
They've done some fun things in their day.
Yes, they have.
This is the Rolling Stones commemorative tour pack.
Look at that.
Wow, how cool is that?
Vodka.
Yes, isn't that great? It's the Sticky Fingers zipper.
Yep.
In a little stage. And in order for us to encourage people to crack the bottle and actually drink it, the bottle's inside. We have a stopper. So you take out the cork. After you undo our safety seal, our Tylenol safety seal. And then you have this beautiful head stopper that
look
goes
at that.
That encourages you to drink what's in the bottle. And then also the best part of this package, and this is great. I mean, this is what makes it so, I guess, emotional for me, is that I'm a longtime Stones fan. I've known Keith and Ronnie mainly, and I know Mick, of course, but I'm closer to Keith and Ronnie because they've been to my house, and I've had Keith stay in my house a couple of times, and I love the boys so much. I love hanging with them. Mick picked all of the songs that you get in the tray in the bottom here. There's 14 live tracks. Whoa. 14 live tracks from the Stones, picked by Mick personally. And the vodka, and the stopper, and a sticker if you want to put it on there. And, that is great. Every man is going to want this of our, demographic, and younger and older, of course. And every woman who has a man is going to want to buy it for them. I mean, this is the Father's Day gift.
It'll look great in the man cave, I'm thinking.
Opie, would you?
I have one.
Yeah, in the man cave.
I have a man
You have a man cave, right? Every man should have a man cave.
Yeah.
It's a Kwanzaa.
That's good. Yeah.
Wow,
that's an amazing package.
That's pretty.
Yeah, that's cool.
Pretty damn cool, right there.
And there's a zipper on the front, which I like.
Yeah. What are some of the live?
I'm going to leave this here for you.
Oh my God!
What are some of the live songs?
There's.
I want to see if they got lazy or not.
Let me see. They're all on here somewhere.
Just a few.
I had the card here. Let me see.
Little Midnight Rambler, you think?
I saw that.
Did it make the cut? Yep. Nice.
How much is it?
Here we go. Beast of Burden, Angie. These are all live tracks that Nick. Right. He said, I want the best live tracks for this. Wow. Brown Sugar, Let's Spend the Night Together. Shattered, Painted Black, Gimme Shelter, Wild Horses, Shine a Light, Rocks Off, Miss You, Get What You Want.
These are the hits.
Yeah, Honky Tonk Women, Jumpin' Jack Flash. So,
you got they had a few hits, huh?
They did.
They had a few hits.
And, boy, it's going to be a great tour coming up. Oh, my God.
Man, right?
I mean, everybody's got to come out the door for that. I think they've already sold out the tickets, so.
I don't tell
a regular bottle of your vodka, how much does a regular bottle cost?
In the States here, if you go to a big chain, like Sam's Club, Costco, something like that, you can get it for around $45 to $46. It's a premium product. It's a luxury spirit. We're not hiding that. It is government manufactured, as I said, and you're paying for the custom glass, the bottle, the package, and the government manufacturer, the shipping from Newfoundland, Canada, where it's made. Sure. Now, we make it there because the water is this original glacial water. When the glacier melted, 16,000 years ago, 800 feet above the planet, it all went into Newfoundland, which is kind of like a big rocky sponge. And so we draw on that water to make the vodka.
Yeah, that's some clean stuff right there.
Yeah.
I like this. I don't drink at all, and I want one of these in my house.
It's
okay. Well, yeah. I'm going to leave each of you principal gentlemen with one when I leave, and you can keep the gift pack here.
You know what it is about this vodka. You are absolutely correct in the fact that you got to be reminded to open it, because I had the head sitting up on in my bar, and I was drinking everything else that was laying around, and finally I was just like, let me try this.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic, and people now when they come over, they know to bring that vodka, the Crystal Head vodka over to my house. I have
look how happy Jen Akroyd is.
I love it.
He's very happy.
I'm not kidding. I love this.
And you're an amazing pitch man. I've realized. You've been pitching for a while.
Willie Loman, here I come.
Yeah.
But
he's using his the Bassamatic.
I was going to go with the bass joke.
Pitch, which of course.
Yes.
How many people have given you bad ideas? Like if you want people to open it, you should hook up a little motor where the mouth opens and goes, "Open me, open me."
That wouldn't be bad, actually. we have a billboard in L.A. on the side of the Avalon Dance Club there in Hollywood, and it's a woman, her like curves in her hands and her hip, and the head is right there, and we have "Try Me" underneath and "Taste Me." Mm-hmm. So that's the push. It's the bartender's friend. It makes a great cold shot, of course, and you can drink it, frozen or whatever. But the thing is, because there's no additives, bartenders and bar chefs, mixologists are adding so much anyway. Red Bull, Clamato, Saint Germain, vermouth. So why not start with a vodka that has nothing in it? And they're finding that all over the world, in Europe, especially where they're doing this molecular mixing and that. They're adding sugar, blueberries, ants on a log, peanut butter. It's amazing. In San Francisco, you can get a salad in a drink, from the Bartenders Guild. So they enjoy the clean slate aspect of it.
Very cool.
And, we just,
I want to ask you how it was going back to SNL recently.
Oh, that was fun. It was well written, that show, which made it great. Now that Justin Timberlake he's got real
talented, huh?
He really is. I mean, he's somebody that got into show business really young, but he had the goods to take it all the way. And in fact, it was his idea to have us on the show. When he was a kid at Disney watching reruns of SNL, he loved the Czech Brothers.
Oh, right.
So, come and swing. Why not? We'll swing with that man. Why not? So we invited Steve. He invited Steve and myself to come on the show, and we did the Czech Brothers, and then they wrote that five-timers thing, which was really
that
neat.
was amazing.
Yeah, that was kind of documentary history right there.
Yeah. You don't realize how many people have done it that many times.
Yeah,
just amazing. We got to ask you, of course, about Caddyshack 2. Look, I hate to bring up the bad, but
what's wrong with
it? Shut up, Jimmy.
I don't talk about the bad movies, but
you don't?
No, that was
because I wondered
what's known
over
as a favor.
Well, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to know the motive.
That was a favor. Yeah, they were stuck, and they needed Chevy and I, and so the guy from Warner's, who was an executive, a friend of ours that we made Spies Like Us with, said, "Please, you got to bail me out here." So
you are a good friend.
We showed up, and
we showed up.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some AAA releases out there that I'm very proud of.
No, we're huge fans. Don't even be confused.
Everybody has a few,
Do you know, Trading Places, we were just talking about that. You could still watch that today, and it's just as funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it holds up over time. Hilarious.
Very
Your
good
character,
script.
great. And, of course, the lovely Jamie Lee Curtis, before she was doing the yoga commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What a body on her. Said you were the best on-screen kisser that she ever worked with.
Oh.
Nice.
Well, it takes two to do that, and movie kissing is kind of deceiving. It looks more passionate than it is. But Jamie, I consider her like my sister in the business.
Yeah.
We've made 4 movies together. She is a fabulous woman. She's, what's great about her is just her attitude in terms of how she loves the crew. She'll have if there are kids on the set, like in My Girl, she had a swear box there. Everybody had to put $5 in if they said
Oh,
bad
really?
words.
How much did you have to put in there?
I put a few in.
Yeah.
But no, that was a nice afternoon shooting that scene. Believe me.
Yeah. What was your first jump into like more serious roles? Because you do both. I mean, you're a very good serious actor.
Let me see now. I guess. I suppose, Driving Miss Daisy, probably, even though that was kind of light and there was some comedy in it and that, and then the My Girl movies, which women between the age of 22 and 30 only know me as that father.
Really?
Yeah, I can go through anywhere. I said, are you the father from My Girl? That's what I get now. Not Ghostbusters, not Blues Brothers, not anything else. I am the father in My Girl.
That was one damn sad little movie.
It was sad, yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was very
terrible.
sad. They killed Macaulay Culkin. And, of course, I, the marketer, go to the producer, John Peters, and say, you can't kill Macaulay Culkin. What are you doing? No, wait. Let's say,
this will never work.
I said, no, this is not going to. First of all, people wake up on the embalming table all the time. He was stung by a bee. Okay, so he's in a coma, right? All right, and then I'm putting the cannula on, and he wakes up. He wakes up and everything's fine, and they go off with the butterflies. Why are you gonna kill him? And of course, that would have been totally wrong if they'd not killed him, because it wouldn't have been the movie it was.
That was a rough.
That was terrible when she goes into the funeral. She's crying.
And then she comes down the stairs to see Macaulay in the other room dead. Oh, boy.
Yes, I know. That was that brought you up the real. Now that was written by a woman whose father owned a funeral home. I've never won I won an Emmy for writing SNL. I've been nominated for a Grammy, Best New Artist, Blues Brothers 1979, nominated for an Academy Award, but I've never won an Academy Award or a Grammy. However, I have won the California Undertakers Association Award for sympathetic portrayal of a funeral director.
Really?
Yes,
that's
one of my proudest plaques right there.
Sympathetic portrayal, so it wasn't the gruesome guy that everybody pictures, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you play a funeral director and you don't walk in with Dracula music, you're like, all right, he gets us.
Instead, I had a tuba.
I thought Neighbors was a very underrated comedy. It was a weird movie, but with Kathy Moriarty, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, we switched parts there. They wanted me to play the other part, and we said, no, let's play it. It was written by a guy named Joseph Berger, a New Jersey novelist, and what was great? He really supported what we were doing, and we shot it over in Staten Island there near the old mental asylum. That was very interesting. Worked nights the whole time. And built that house, built the power lines there and all that. That was all our construction, and it was a little bizarre, but we had fun. We had fun on it. And now, you can't hardly get that film. I can't find that on DVD. A lot of people.
Yeah,
like
true. Yeah. That one isn't readily available.
Can I ask you, what is your favorite? Because you're known as a big conspiracy guy. What is your, not favorite, but what is your most passionate conspiracy?
Oh, geez. Conspiracy. Well, I mean, in terms of assassinations or chemtrails. I mean,
assassinations or government problems.
Well, I think the government conspires to keep things from us all the time. I think one of the biggest conspiracies is the loss of $20 billion of our taxpayer money in 2 really bad wars and Katrina. I mean, look at where the money went. It went into pallets into Iraq and was taken out the back door in metal trunks. And Katrina, $4 billion gone there in theft. Iraq, Afghanistan, the money's just disappearing. And that's money that you and I have to pay. And by the way, these new higher tax rates that everyone's going to have to pay, the middle class, are based on what money was worth 25 years ago. Mm-hmm. You're being taxed on $1 that's worth 47 cents today. And so, very unfair to tax us and then misspend the money. Mm-hmm. I mean, government is really a mess down there. I can't believe that. You know, that's just...
I don't see it as much as conspiracy as I do complete incompetence. Mm-hmm. I just see people that have an undying supply of cash, so they don't have to be thrifty with it. Because, I mean, what recourse do we have? Hey, I'm not paying you. No. And then you go to prison. So
well, that's right, or you move to another country. But people did conspire to steal all of that, especially the money in Iraq that went out the back door in pallets, shrink-wrapped and out to some...
who knows? Like Goodfellas.
Who knows who got
pay
it?
Me.
Yeah.
Just
what was his name? Maury. Yeah, Maury. Where's my money?
Fuck him, that cigarette hijacking Mick.
Yeah. Where's my money? Where's my money? Yeah.
Wow. Hey, did you, I mean, obviously SNL at the beginning and Lorne, it just seemed from what I've seen in interviews and documentaries that it was a very kind of, hey, we don't quite know what we're doing, but this is kind of going to work. And now to see Lorne where he is now, which is pretty much in charge of late night with Jimmy Fallon.
Sure.
Did you have any inkling back then that this guy was the powerhouse that he would end up being?
From the moment I met him.
Really?
Absolutely. No, this guy had it. He started as a writer, performer, stand-up. He had a partner named Hart Pomerantz, and they used to do comedy. Lorne had shoulder-length hair and a Fu Manchu mustache when I met him, but I knew right away. He had a vision. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew talent. He knew how to spot talent. He knew how to use talent. And he was able to convince NBC to do not a pilot but 7 shows. He said, you've got to give me 7 because we'll get traction that way. And he simply wanted to recreate the Colgate Comedy Hour, the Sid Caesar live experience. And now today he's going to be having that late night block. I'm sure he wishes, like I do, that he did this 30 years ago, building an empire. But he's going to have a lot of people on his side that are going to be good parts of his team. And he's my boss.
Yeah, he's your boss.
Oh yeah, anytime he calls, I'm there.
Yeah, it really is something looking over the years, because it didn't seem to be that organized when you guys were on.
No, there was definite, chaos. I mean, we would be writing, the secretaries would be typing at 4 a.m. I had bunk beds there that Johnny and I slept in. I had them put a shower in for me because I used to sleep over to get the things rewritten and stuff. And you'd put a piece in and they'd have to build the set in 9 hours. And, it was, and there were only, just a few cast members and only like 7 or 8 writers. So there wasn't, you could blow, snow through the 17th floor, sometimes.
Really?
And now they're, every assistant has an assistant, and they do a great job, but it's very overpopulated.
Different animal.
What was your first indication that it was really something that was not going to go away quickly? Like, what was the first? I mean, was it the first week, or was it
It was. Well, for me, it was the first moment that I went out on camera. I was under the seats. I was waiting to go on in a scene called Home Security, where Garrett Morris and I break into a guy's home to show him that you'd better have a security system, and that's the way we sold it, was breaking into homes. And so we were sitting there. I'm looking at him. He's looking at him, thinking, boy, if this doesn't work, I do know a good price on a snowplow up in Canada. I can go back and do that. And then I went out there and the scene started and people were laughing and John and Michael O'Donoghue had done the Wolverine thing and that had worked, and I was thinking, oh yeah, this could work. And then of course the George Carlin show was a big hit, and because we had 7, to prove to NBC that it could work.
Right.
Here we are, 36 years later.
Amazing, right?
How hard is it I'm always amazed that SNL guys can, like, if a scene's not working, how hard is it to bomb in a scene when you just know the scene's not working and continue with it, and like how is it to not break and just go, fuck, this is not working?
Well, let me put you're talking about dying.
Yeah, like just.
Well, that is the most, and I think most all comedians will tell you this, and you guys know a little bit about this. You know, there's occasions when you do die. It is the most exquisite feeling. It's kind of wonderful, you know, to watch other people die.
Oh, that's the best.
To die. To feel something dying. I remember we did a sketch, I forget what it was called. Tom Davis and I wrote it, and after we did it, Michael O'Donoghue walked up to me and said, "That's the single worst piece of writing and performing I've ever seen on television." You know, we died, and we knew we were dying, you know. You remember when Carson would do something, like he would say something, and a joke wouldn't work, and then he'd try to make it work and just dig himself deeper hole. That to me was the greatest laugh. Yeah.
He would start dancing, they'd play the music, and he would do that little dance.
You know, Carson dying to me was as funnier than anything.
Looking over to Ed.
So dying is exquisite, and we used to do it at Second City a lot, and walk out and go, geez, that audience, it's, oh boy, are they dead? No, you're creatively dead, and that's why they weren't laughing.
But I bombed, I'm a stand-up, so I bombed in that realm. I understand how to do that, but I can address it, and I can just this stinks, or I can at least acknowledge it. But in sketch, it seems so terrifying because you have 3 more minutes of this, and you can't break that wall.
Well, as Winston Churchill said, you know, when you're going through hell, keep going. So that's what you do. You just go right through, and you know, as a stand-up, how fun it is to see other stand-ups die.
There's nothing better.
And then if you're dying, you can also, you know, turn it around to where it becomes a triumph sometimes.
Yeah. If you die really, you mean like die a horrible death.
It's or you dig out of that hole and you get a rocket, and then next thing you're back on top.
Right. Bill Burr in Philly. Yeah. One of our guys was getting booed in front of 12,000 people. We used to do a little comedy tour, and he was getting killed. And he turned the whole thing around and just beat the shit out of Philly as a city as a whole. Which made the boos even bigger. But by the end of it, make it short, it was a standing ovation. People were out of their minds for it.
They understood what he did.
But he turned it around instead of sitting there just you know.
If nothing else, they realized how much he knew about Philly.
Yeah, exactly.
And how right he was.
Oh my God, it was an amazing night. Do that.
When you're doing films too, do you ever see a script that like you like and it's going, and then as you start shooting it, they start making changes, and you're like, oh, but this is not what I signed on for?
Oh, sure. That happens. That happens a lot, and you can only fight as much as you can for what you think your part should be, and the role should be in the dialogue, and you know, try to appeal to the producers and the director if it's not working. But mostly I've been pretty fortunate because the material that I've started out with was pretty strong on the good movies. Yeah,
on the good movies.
Yeah.
Is it hard to go out and promote a movie that you know you don't like? You have to do it?
You know what's great about promoting this vodka is that I'm not selling used battery acid here. I mean, I'm selling a quadruple gold medal winning fluid that is just delicious. People are loving it. And so I walk in with confidence. I used to sell movies on a Wednesday that I knew were going to die on a Friday. Wow. I mean, I knew they were dead. And this is the greatest comedy. This director. And I knew it was, beating the horse until the bones showed, It was,
But it was one of those things. I guess contractually you guys have to do it, right? They're like, you have to go out and promote it, and there's nothing you can do.
It depends what's in the. I don't. During the last sort of years of my peak motion picture career, and I had a good run in the 80s and 90s. There, I did not have any obligation to promote, but of course I wanted to because like a thing like Grosse Pointe Blank, I loved that movie. I wanted to let people know about it. So even though I wasn't contracted, I did a few things for them promotional wise.
Yeah. Were you as into partying back then as a lot of the other people we hear about?
Well, I mean, I did try La Cocaña a couple of times, but it wasn't my thing. It was only because it was around, and instead of having coffee to stay up till 3, that was the. But Johnny loved that. He did that. That made him. He was fighting some kind of he was numbing himself, fighting some kind of pain, and so he liked the powders and the pills a little more, and then some of the other cast members and people in the business and in the movie industry. But it was never my thing. More on the green side for me, and a little moderate use.
Did you see that coming with? Because a lot of people talk about Chris Farley and they're like the Friends were so still concerned because you could kind of see it snowballing into a place that was very dangerous. Did you see that with Belushi, or was it kind of one of those things where you didn't realize how bad it was?
Yeah, we flushed a lot of blow down the toilet, and we hid it from him. We hid the people. You know, we tried to separate him from the people that were giving him the stuff, and we knew that we had to watch out for him. It just came so suddenly, and I wish I was out there then, because and this is what I think to myself to this day. If I had been there, I might have been able to do something to prevent it. Now, let's look to the bright side of things. If you want to speculate, if John were alive today, he would be probably one of the top directors on Broadway, because he loved theater. He was very smart that way, and he would be one of these guys with a scarf and a hat, blowing in with a cape, and directing the great actors of our time. And he would be in Broadway. He'd be like an actor manager, like David Garrett or somebody.
Right.
And I could see that's where his life might have gone.
Where were you when you found out? How did you find? Because the news was not passed back then the way it is today. So there wasn't like just a Twitter or an explosion where everybody found out.
Well, I got a call. I was writing Ghostbusters. I was writing his line for Ghostbusters.
Wow.
In fact, because he was supposed to be in it. And then it was early in the morning, and I was at our office on Fifth Avenue, and Bernie Brillstein called and told me he was our agent and manager, and he said that John was gone, and of course my immediate thought was to get right to Judy right away, so that she wouldn't find out on the radio. And I ran. Actually, it was a beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful March day, and I got out of the office and I ran to Judy's big down in the village there, and on the way I passed a newsstand, and it was already on the newsstand.
Oh, shit! Wow, yeah.
So I got in there, and had to. That was tough. It's tough when you have to tell someone that
shit.
You lose a brother, a husband, or whatever. Yeah, that was a dark moment, and one that she of course triumphed over, and now we manage the Blues Brothers brand, and she's a happy lady today.
And after something like that, which is just awful, did you take a long time before you could kind of come back, or was it one of those things where you could just bury yourself in being creative to kind of move on?
I stopped. Yeah, I stopped. Yeah, it's casualty in that. I mean, I knew I had to keep going and do something, and then I went on to do the movie that I met my wife on, Dr. Detroit. So, that turned out all right. Yeah.
Oh, did you put Ghostbusters down for a while? Like you didn't want to continue?
Yeah. It sort of went away. It was really when I was doing Trading Places, I began to redevelop Ghostbusters, and then we got the president. It was supposed to be Eddie Murphy, me, and Belushi. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I was writing it for.
Wow. For Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And a nice,
Wow.
The look in the suits would have been really good.
Exactly.
I love finding out that stuff.
And, I'm chunky and John was rotund. So I wasn't so chunky back then, but
yeah.
And so did Eddie not want to do it? By the time it came around, was he just off to doing his own thing?
I just think I don't know what it was, how it evolved. It just was we got Murray, and when I got with Harold and Ivan, we started to write the script, and so we got Murray, and then Murray, Bill added so much. I 50% of the success of that movie is because of his performance. I mean, it's just great.
Yeah, god damn.
Yeah, so fun stuff.
I'm always jealous of guys, and you do John Candy well too, right?
Very well. He was a great friend of mine. Yeah.
I think he's one of the funniest guys ever on film. Like he could be funny doing. And just that big fucking head shake. There's nothing better than John Candy.
Oh, and the STTV work that he did was sensational. Really, really, really great work. John, he there was no drugs involved in his demise, unfortunately. It was a congenital heart defect, but he was so much fun. And of course, John Hughes wrote those movies. He was one of the most prolific writers at the time.
Yeah.
Also died prematurely, but Candy and I started out together. When we started out, I was a Royal Mail courier. I was driving a mail truck, and he was a Kleenex salesman. So
almost like a Del Griffith type of job. He really had.
Wow. He wore the brown suit. He had the matching brown Pontiac. He was like a clothes horse. He was always dressed in the ring and the cigarette, and Johnny LaRue. He was beautiful, Johnny LaRue. He was so
Johnny
stylish.
LaRue, right?
I could barely, make it into a pair of jeans and a t-shirt after work. I'd take the mail cap off, and then I didn't know what to wear. But we started out at Second City, and we still had those jobs when we were at Second City, and then we quit them to go full time.
Wow, you did, huh?
Oh yeah.
Jeez, what point were you able to go, hey, I could quit my job? Like, was it?
When the Second City started to pay us, we were, $235 a week, so we were able to stop the driving the mail truck, and then the Second City Theater closed. The sheriff closed it down because of the operator ran out of money and couldn't pay the debt, and Second City was rescued by another entrepreneur, impresario, kind of in the Lorne Michaels vein. Named
Guy Caballero.
No, his name is yes. Why am I slipping my name? Andrew Alexander. Sorry, there's many Alexanders in mine. Andrew Alexander is his name, and he saved Second City in Toronto and got the TV show started, and today is the Lorne Michaels of Second City.
Do you think writing has changed in comedy since, like, 'cause when you look at the SNL writing for those days, they talk on a lot of racial issues, like with Pryor and Chevy Chase. And I don't just mean at SNL, I mean in general. It seems like people are so frightened of repercussions for saying, instead of challenging social things, people are so afraid of challenging them and getting in trouble for it.
I think they take on, issues today pretty, at SNL anyway, pretty head on, in terms of culture and in terms of rappers and performers, that may push the envelope. They parodize, pretty effectively. I don't think they're afraid of any issues. Of course, drugs, I think, are off the table now. They can't really, do, we did that sketch where the customs, they're coming through customs and the suitcase is just powder everywhere. You don't see that so much anymore. But as far as, taking on like racial stereotypes and cultural stereotypes, SNL is really doing great work now, and I watch all the time. I love it. Yeah.
Was there anything that they wanted you to tackle, or any comedy wanted you to tackle that you were like, I kind of would rather not?
No, I pretty much did everything I was assigned, and people would come to me and say, "Would you help me with this or be in that?" It was always a collaborative effort, so I never really backed off it. I like to help people with their visions, and they helped me. So no, I never. There was nothing that I really backed off of. I didn't like doing Update. That's one thing. I was uncomfortable in that seat. That wasn't for me, No, No. I like to have a wig, a funny walk, glasses, something to hide behind, to be out there and just be me, reading the comedy news. It was not my thing, and the ones who have done it since have done a much better job than I have.
Wasn't Lawrence supposed to do that? I heard that was originally going to be his, but he got a little stage fright, or he just decided. Was that true, or is that just
maybe? Could be. I mean, he did like appearing on camera at the CBC, but his strength is behind the scenes and picking every week what's going to be on the show. That's the greatest job in show business. He's the one that ultimately decides what works, what doesn't, between dress and air, what's going to go on and what isn't.
His most famous on camera was making that offer to the Beatles, which was hilarious. And he had the long hair, and you look at him back then and look at him now with the suit and gray hair and balding and everything. It's not even like it's the same person.
Well,
it really is amazing.
Many of us have changed in that way.
You look great, though. You've lost a lot of weight.
I'm still at bouncer size, but it goes back and forth, and appetites and all that. But
Can I ask you an acting question? What do you do with your hands? I always have trouble when I act with my hand. I never know what to do with my fucking hands when I'm acting. Like, where do you put them?
It's so true. You're right about that. Yeah, I usually
on the coffee to bring to the staff.
Yeah, exactly. I should put them on a pistol to put on my chin.
Sometimes the director will help you with that, and also the continuity girl, the script girl, will help you say, "Oh, you held it a certain way. The cup was here, or the cigarette was there, or you put your hand there. You had your right hand up." So they tell you from take to take sometimes what to do. The trouble I always had was rushing the lines, was rushing through it. We're going to be here all day, and don't rush. You can take your time, and also I learned, being on camera, that this is your moment. Once that camera's rolling, take your time. It's all right. It's kind of like Wyatt Earp. When he talked about gunfighting, he said, I always take my time, and that's why I always get the other guy, because the other guy's nervous, adrenaline's there, he's rushing for the piece, and Wyatt Earp said that, I have my muscular musculature trained, and I take it slow. I always take it slow. He says, he used to talk about how he would freeze that moment when he went for the gun so that the other guy's going for the gun fast, but he's going for it slow, and by the time that the barrel came out of the bullet's already out and into the guy's stomach, and all done in a very slow motion kind of way where time seems to stop. So in motion picture acting, when the camera's rolling, just take the time. It's like a car accident, how it unfolds slowly. Just take your time, and then if it doesn't work, you're back to another take. At SNL, no deal there. You're live, and there's no taking your time there. You rip through it.
The worst is when I would do an audition slow and feel like I really was emotionally right. I do it. I'm like, that's great. And they're like, all right, can we do it again? But you got to pick up the pace.
You thought you were being brilliant.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing this with my hands, flopping them out.
Well, that's why they have directors.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Poor Jimmy.
Very good. Crystal Head Vodka. We got to make sure that we get the word out.
And you can follow Dan Akroyd on Twitter. It's at Dan Akroyd, but there is the underscore in between Dan and Akroyd.
Who's got Dan Akroyd?
I guess we do. I don't know.
What, you have the underscore. Someone has the other one.
I think
someone has the one that's easier to fucking remember.
Well, I think one of the companies probably has. We've probably locked it up because they don't let you. You can't have someone else's name. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Unless that's actually their real name too.
Could be. There are some Akroyds around, not many, but there might be another one out there. I don't doubt it.
Dan Akroyd's yogurt shop somewhere, and some guy's like, no, he's not getting it. Screw him.
There was a Jim Norton Toyota. I was so angry. Some guy in Tulsa, Oklahoma had a Toyota dealership with my name, and he was getting more fucking news and Google hits than I am. Flop. So Crystal Head, the Rolling Stones edition, I guess, how can people get that?
Package
it really is unbelievable.
It's going to be in retail stores all over the country, and I encourage people to buy it, put it up, but crack the bottle and try the quadruple gold medal fluid. That's the.
I will attest to that.
That's why we're here.
It's very, very good vodka. I love it, and and the bottle looks great up on your shelf behind the bar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
No, it looks great on bars in all in hotels and in restaurants and in nightclubs. It's just what it does. It draws the attention to the bar, and it's just a nice addition to it. It's I call her Joy. Her name is Joy.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. She's got a little smile there. She's not a mean skull at all.
That's adorable.
Yeah. And then the top is there. You'll see there's a deer head, a crescent, and two fleur-de-lis. The deer head is from the Akroyd family crest. The crescent is New Orleans, and the other fleur-de-lis is the province of Quebec, and the other fleur-de-lis is the state of Louisiana. So
wow,
we love Louisiana, we love Quebec, we love Franco-Americans and Franco-Canadians.
Dan Akroyd, just fantastic
what a pleasure
having you in, man. Thanks so
You
much.
guys are great. Thanks a lot, man.
For coming in.
Have a good weekend.
Tell him, Fred.
The Virus. Sirius XM. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.